Now, I think we are going to talk a very interesting topic. And the topic name itself is data management, not what you thought. And I think the biggest challenge for the breeding community, the trialing community, the people who are doing a lot of trial, how to manage this big data, how to get and collect the data from the field, from the nurseries, or all the breeding trials, combination, and those all things. So here we have a next presenter is Erez at Atzmon, and he's a vice president of the business development in the Phenome Network. He holds a bachelor degree in economics and an MBA in the marketing and the global business management. His career rotates around the diverse industries, including the SaaS, the high tech, the fintech, and the cyber. And all of which is always emphasizing the innovation and the cutting-edge solutions for their own customer. And additionally, he is also a lecturer in the various marketing courses. So he's going to talk about the exploring and evolving landscape, how the data management in the seed breeding industry is going on, and this includes the variety testing, the product development, and addressing the challenges and the future potential of these advanced platforms. So I request Erez to come on the platform and share your beautiful presentation with us. Thank you very much.
So first of all, good morning, everybody. Thank you for the opportunity to be here. Thank you, Akuna, and the rest of the team. The first thing I want to emphasize is the fact that I think everybody in the room knows more about agriculture than myself. Still, I'm standing here before you talking about data. I come from much experience and many companies in high-tech, fintech, cyber fintech. And when I took a position in Phenome Networks about 3 years ago, everybody was like, data? You come from cyber, all these beautiful words and threats and opportunities, and you go to data. What is the connection? And in the past 3 years, I've learned that data actually holds everything. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to get to work. And I hope that by the end of my speech, you too would understand the importance of data. Because if you don't have data, you don't have anything. And that's true. That's very true in the agricultural field. So again, thank you for having me. So moving right ahead, let's talk about numbers. And I think our president, Dr. Patel, spoke about this in his opening speech. In Southeast Asia, about 50% of the world population resides, but only 22% of the global land. But it should be enough, right? Apparently it isn't. Unfortunately, it isn't. We have, and Mr. Patel mentioned, Dr. Patel mentioned that more than 380 million people in this region are declared hungry. Something must be done to increase food production. And like we've decided, the logo is going to be seed comes first. It all starts with the seeds, and that's your business, everybody present, I believe. So if seed comes first, the breeding of the seed is the answer. And I think you all know the quote, it's considered the major factor in fighting for food security. So let's talk about the situation specifically in APAC. So we have low productivity. We have large fields in India, here in China, and other places around Southeast Asia, but the productivity per hectare is relatively low to what is in the other parts of the world. Also, very limited access to technology. The fields are very large, and that creates a problem because there's no connectivity to the internet. And without connectivity to the internet, it's very difficult to operate. And usually there's a difficulty to access funding. So that is the situation, and we must do something about that. So let's talk about breeding. And as I said, I'm not a breeder, but basically this is the way that I look at it. You take a male parent, a female parent, you create a new genetic material, and use then phenotype, genotype, analyze, and repeat. I think this is clear to everybody here. But then what happens when you have multiple experiments, when you're doing breeding over and over and over and over again? What you get at the end of the day is enormous, enormous amounts of data. And this is what needs to be solved. Access to this data, collection of this data, management of all of that enormous amounts of data. So that's what we're here to discuss. So I've been talking to a lot of people during the past 2 days and even before that. And here's what happens in the fields today. So people in the fields, when they're doing their trials, are using pen and paper to collect observations. But the obvious question, what happens if it rains? And then, once they've collected all the data, they a lot of the times use their cell phone or a camera to take pictures. I think you know this position. Very good for your back, by the way. But then how do you connect the picture you've just taken to the data of the germplasm? And then you upload everything to Excel. And I've heard this again from many people in the past 2 days. So they have numerous Excel files, and I'm very much in favor of Excel. But what happens to all the errors in the way from taking the observation, to getting it to the office, to actually deciphering what I just wrote in the field onto the Excel spreadsheet? There has to be a better way to run your trials, and that's what we can offer. And last but not least, and this is a very important point, unification of data. And I have a simple way of explaining that. What happens if you have trials in 5 different fields? And one guy in the field says, okay, I need to check the size of the grain. And I'll use a 3 metric. I'll use small, medium, large. Perfect, right? But then somebody else in a different field, he's smart. He says, I'm going to use a 5-level grade. So we have small, extra small, small, medium, large, extra large. I'm smart. Once they both get into the office and they make no mistakes and everything is good, but guess what? It's not unified. You cannot compare, you cannot analyze, you have nothing. And if data is everything, then you've got nothing. So unification of data is key. And again, to take off on our president's words, if you put in garbage, if the data is not good, you get garbage out. You got no solution, nothing comes out of this experiment, of this trials. So this is what we're trying to solve. Then, when companies think about acquiring a data management platform, and I talk to people, say, oh, I need to spend so much money. Oh, first of all, what is a next generation data management platform? My bad. So it's an all-in-one platform that should be able to take you from beginning to end. So from starting an experiment, to running the experiment, to gathering the data, to analyzing the data, then take it to variety testing, then take it to product development, all the way to market, all in a single location, accessible at any time. So, why should you care about this? Why am I standing here? Why are you paying attention? Well, there's several reasons. First of all, using a next-generation data management platform would cut your costs. It will save you money, and it will make you more money. Your revenues are going to get higher. Then, you're going to be able to compete, because guess what? We're not alone here. I'm talking to people all over the world. Companies invest a lot of money in next-generation data management platforms. If you want to compete, you have to adopt one. And if you ever want to use genomics, and I think we all do, because that's the future, you cannot run genomics on Excel. You need a next-generation data management platform. And the last point, like I said in the beginning, let's help the world. Let's help feed the hungry. Let's help battle global warming. Those are all worthy goals for us to embrace. So when I talk to companies about acquiring a data management platform, and I talk to CFOs, they say, oh, I need to spend so much money, it's an expense, I don't know if I have the funds, I don't know if I have it in my budget for next year. But through our research, and we are working with many companies around the globe, I will show you a little later, we actually found that it's a great investment in your company. And if you're a CFO and you want to make an investment, you want to make sure that you get a great return on your investment, the big ROI, return on your investment. And we will produce a great ROI. How? We actually see that there is a short term and a long term. In the short term, you're going to cut your costs. You're going to make your people much more effective and efficient. You're also going to make better decisions. Imagine cutting your time to market by a year, or 2 seasons, or 3 seasons, because you made better decisions based on good data. What would that turn in terms of return on that investment? And also, you will make better, educated, data-driven decisions. So all that is actually only in the short term. In the long term, there is a thing called biodiversity rules, the Nagoya protocols. I actually met yesterday a very nice lady here that her job is to protect you against germplasm theft, all about your intellectual property. We can help protect you against lawsuits because you will have accurate data about the source of your germplasm. Also, you secure your intellectual property. Again, speaking to people, I ask them, where's your data? They have all those Excel spreadsheets, and they say, it's on our servers, or, God forbid, on their laptops. What happens if you get affected by a malware or a ransomware, all those bad words I carry with me from my past in cyber? What happens if you just spill coffee on your computer? Where is all your data? And let me tell you, the valuation of your company is your data. You're not valued at the price you paid for your chairs or your computers. The data is your valuation. You'd better take good care of it. Data stored with us or with the next generation data management platform is more secured than it would ever be on your servers or on your laptops, God forbid. And also, you can showcase your achievements. You can sell germplasm. You can sell your varieties. And you can show and you can always remanufacture your varieties. Think of a case where you actually managed to produce the best grain ever, the ideotype, a great strain of corn. But then you can't actually reproduce it because you lost the data. How did you produce it in the first place? All this goes for your ROI in the long term. Then last, if you ever want to use algorithms, AI algorithms, if you ever want to use genomics, marker-assisted breedings, all those futuristic words that are actually being implemented these days, you must have a next-generation data management platform because none of these are at all feasible on Excel. So I would like to introduce to you, I introduce you myself, I would like to introduce to you my company or the company I work for, Phenome Networks. Phenome Networks is today the global leader in our field. Don't tell anybody I said so, but last we checked, we have more customers than our next 3 competitors combined. We're working with over 160 companies and organizations and nonprofits across the globe. We're serving over 3,000 researchers. And by the way, by next year, we already know we're going to reach 4,000 researchers, breeders, variety testers, product development managers, and so on. So how does our platform look like? What do we offer? We start with a data management platform that is hosted on the cloud, on Amazon Web Services. This holds tremendous value to the companies we work with. You have a single location, you can call it a repository of data, with all your data. You can upload onto it all your existing files from Excel with a click of a button. So all your data would be available to you all the time, from anywhere, as long as you can connect to the internet. That's all you need. You get a username and a passcode, and you can access your data. To make sure we are on the same page, each company and organization working with us has its own environment on Amazon. So it's not like a pool that we put everything together. No, each company gets its own data, and it's completely secured. So first thing is we upload all your data to a single location, and then on this location, you can start, everything is unified on that location, and then you keep on gathering more data, running, planning experiments, running experiments, analyzing the results, everything on the same place. Then we also provide a mobile application that we have devised ourselves. So it works perfectly. So when you're out there in the field gathering observations, gathering the data, you don't need to buy anything. You use your own cell phone. It can be an Android or an iOS. You just take your cell phone, and just by clicking on it, you take observations. And obviously, you use the camera, the built-in camera, to take pictures. But no mistakes. If you have connectivity, all that data gets uploaded to the cloud immediately. But if you're in a large field in China somewhere and there is no connectivity, that is not a problem. All the data gets stored on the device, and then when the device feels connectivity, automatically all the data goes from the device to the cloud and available to the researcher. Then we allowed you to gather data, store the data, and now we can allow you to analyze all of the data. So we provide a wide variety of analytical and statistical and graphical tools to allow you to actually get knowledge from all that data. Also, we have an inventory management module, basically keeping track of all the physical entities, bags of seeds or cuttings or whatever it is that you are using. And we even take you all the way with a product lifecycle module all the way to your market. So product development is also covered. So like I told you, it's an all-in-one platform covering all your needs. So all this is actually being serviced by Phenome Networks itself. But we do understand that we cannot serve everything, and no company is working in a silo. We need to connect to the outside world. So, first of all, like I said before, you can connect with Excel and CSV files easily and seamlessly. Click of a button, export or import files at any time. And also, we work with barcodes and QR codes. This by itself, by the way, would expedite your operations, because phenotype is just scan a barcode, take observation, use the camera. Scan a barcode, take observation, use the camera. It's as easy as that. And there's no mistakes. So the platform can produce the barcodes or QR codes, and the mobile application can read it. Then also, you can connect to any ERP system, either one that you've produced yourself, or SAP, Oracle, or any other, or to any measuring device, above ground or in the ground, like measuring salinity, moisture level, temperature, basically anything. And this is done with through the use of APIs, which are computer ports. I'm sure the computer people know more about this than me, but the idea is that you can connect seamlessly, integrated so data flows freely. And we have actually also implemented the globalized structure called BRAPI. I'm not sure if you're familiar, B-R-A-P-I, BRAPI. This is a set of rules that was set by leading researchers from Cornell University in the United States. So there's a lot of professional literature about that, and you can seamlessly, as I said, connect everything to it. Also, you can integrate pictures from drones, from satellites, or actually anything you want. And everything will be integrated seamlessly into our platform and hosted and saved in the right location. And last thing that's very important, the security of your data is of our utmost concern. We have a very strict security policy. We keep your data absolutely secured, and we back up all the data every day. So for you, that means you can never lose the data. Worst case scenario, that's never happened, one day, that's it. We've also implemented the International Standardization Organization certificate. We hold the ISO 27001 certificate for data security. So your data is safe with us. And I want just to show you a few slides of what it is that you can accomplish with our platform. So, a pedigree chart. Imagine if I asked you to show me on Excel, how did you reach a specific germplasm, in this case, this yellow circle? Obviously, above it is the ancestors. Below it is offsprings. And all the green circles are hybrids. All the orange ones are selections. And you can actually even track and see, I'm not sure if you can see on the screen right now, but the dotted lines are weak parental lines. The straight lines are strong parental lines. Inside those circles, you can show whatever attribute you want. In this case, obviously, it's a name of the germplasm, but you can put bricks, size of grain, any other attribute you want. So you can see the advancement of this attribute from generation to generation. Furthermore, you can actually, when you're going to variety testing, this is a single trait chart, and you control everything. You control which germplasm, which lines you're going to see here, what is the attribute that you're comparing. Of course, each vertical line is a line. Each dot is an observation of this line. The color represents where this observation was taken. The size of the bar is the variance of this line. So obviously you would want the line with the shortest, the smallest bar. And you can also, if you can see in the bottom left, you can remove outliers with the click of a button. And everything you see here is completely reactive. So you can, excuse my language, play with it. You can change things and see how things change immediately. So you can actually compare easily and effectively all your different trials in all your locations of all the varieties. And all this is just one chart. We have many more. This is single trait. And lastly, let me show you the multiple trait. So this is a multiple trait heat map. So of course, all the lines and all the different variables, all the attributes. So in a single chart, you can see clearly the picture of your entire experiment. And you can choose and make the best data-driven decision, like we've discussed in the beginning. So this was my presentation, and I want to thank you all for listening, and I'm open for questions. And I think I'm even a little shorter than the time that was allotted to me. So, if there are no...
Yeah, no, I think I would like to thank you first. Let's give a big round of applause to Eric.
Thank you all.
And if you have any question around that, I think there might be a lot of questions in the breeders or the breeding communities about all the data management and those all things. Please do visit to him and let's have a discussion. But I really like when you started the seed comes first, and also you talk a lot about the data security. I think the trust is very important when you pass on your data to somebody else. The trust is very important, so you really focus on that one. And your tagline, which I really inspired with that, the turning data into the knowledge and bringing value from the knowledge. So thank you very much. And with that one, that was our end of the presentation. But before closing the session, I will pass on to my colleague here, Farhan, to conclude the session.